So today I'm going to be reviewing the Pfaff Ambition 610. Interesting machine, the first of, or the entry level for Pfaff's larger machines with some really interesting features. So what do I mean by Pfaff's larger machines? Well, it's bigger, but really that's to allow you to have more functionality. There's more stitches, more stitch options, which we'll go through in a minute. More things you can do, but the other thing is it has a larger throat, so you can work on bigger projects, whereas on most smaller standard machines that's around 16-17 centimeters from the needle to this point here. On this machine it's actually 20, so you can get more work, particularly if you're working on bulky items, quilts, coats, that kind of thing. You can get more fabric into the throat when you're sewing. So the key features of the Ambition 610, like there are on some machines below and above it, you have overall speed control, you have the Pfaff IDT, which is the permanent walking foot. If you want to know more about that, I've done a video on that, there's a link in the description. It has 110 stitches, all the key stitches you want, including 6 buttonholes, and as I say, key utility stitches, and then some decorative and satin stitches going all the way up. Doesn't have an alphabet. The screen is not a touch screen, but you can move around using the series of buttons you have here. And the stitch you see, let's try that one. So I'll change it to stitch 3, which is a zigzag. The stitch you see on this screen is the exact size that the stitch you're going to make, which is a really nice touch. The swing on this machine is 7mm, and what I mean by that is the stitches, the widest zigzag you can get, or the widest stitch you can get on this machine is 7mm wide. On a lot of entry-level machines it's only 5mm wide, so you're going one step up. But something to think about if you've got Pfaff IDT feet from another machine, they may not fit, so you just have to have a look. Needle threader, start-stop button, reverse button, needle up, needle down in your fabric, which means it will stop with the needle down, so you can swing and move your fabric around with pivoting on the needle. Stitch off facility, which basically means instead of reversing to catch your threads, you can press that and it stitches the same place 3 times, and it's just a really neat little tie off for you. On this screen here you also have the ability to show information, and what that will show you is the kind of needle you should be using, the foot you should be using, whether you can engage the IDT or not, the tension it's set to, and then over here is your stitch length and width. And as you change the stitches, let's try another one, the information will change. So this is asking me now for a different foot. It's also telling me I need to use some kind of stabilizer. So you can see, just really useful, gives you those little hints and tips so you make sure the machine is set up correct when you're starting to stitch. You also have a settings menu. You have the ability to set the width of your twin needle, and that really helps because it will stop the machine from trying to move the needle from side to side, which is the same with the stitch width. You can stop it from doing that. It's in English, and you can have an audible alarm, and there's quite a few alarms on here. It will tell you if the presser foot's up for a minute. If I try and press, you can hear it won't let me sew, and it's beeping at me, and in fact it even tells me that I need to press the presser foot, which even when I do that I still have to press OK to get rid of that signal. Makes it very hard for you to damage the machine by accident. Let's come back out of that, and then in let me find one, try 69, in a satin stitch, changes to that. Let's get rid of the information in, so you can just press the button, it goes away. So over here you can see the stitch width and the stitch length. If you press the Alt button, you'll notice that changes, and what that is it allows you to lengthen the stitch without changing the density of the stitches. The bobbin is a drop-in, So you literally just drop the bobbin in, make sure the thread's off to the right side. You catch the little guides that you go through. Got a little blade in there. And you don't have to drag that thread up. That machine is now ready to sew. So I've selected the straight stitch, and to start sewing, change my speed slightly, there we go. Stop needle down. Now from now on it will stop needle down. If I press that button, that's my tie on selected. Tap the reverse button and it does the stitch for me. Let's bring that back up so it's easy to get out of the way. Pull to one side. Blade cut, a little thread cutter there. Hopefully you can see that. So it's a really neat little stitch off there. So one of the things I have noticed is the reverse button. So let's sew for a second. And if I hit the reverse button, you'll notice it takes just a stitch. I don't know if you can see it, but it's not an instant response, it's a stitch. I mean, you get used to it, but there is a slight delay. Now, I actually see that on quite a few computerized machines. It's like I have to go through one more cycle before they can start to do the reverse of what when you're hitting the reverse button. Same when you're taking your finger off the reverse button and you want to go back to standard sewing, forward sewing. It's just a little bit of a delay, just something. So on the side of the machine, that's your foot pressure. The lower the number, the lower the pressure of the foot. Most of the time it's on end for normal, I suppose, but it's your mid setting. And if you want to drop your feed dogs, you can just slide this off your accessories tray, so it's like your sleeve board, and then at the back there's a dial there that you flick to drop your feed dogs and then flip back again. It's a mechanical process. So on the top of the machine, once you lift the cover up, because you can run the machine with the cover down, but if you want to or need to, you can stand your pin up. If you find it better to run the thread that way, this little hole here has the ability to put in a second pin, so if you're running a twin needle. And over to the side here, so when you engage your needle threader, you press that over, that actually engages the needle threader, and the needle doesn't move, so you don't need to touch your hand wheel. So if you're going to wind your bobbin, come through this little catch here, round the back of this, round here, and then you thread your bobbin. Let it wind for a little bit until the thread catches, snip that thread off, and then the stop button, just keep going. And when you have enough, press the stop button. What you also have on this machine, which is a little bit gimmicky but actually really useful, you have a little blade there around my bobbin, nice and tight, looking really good. What you can do on some of these Pfaff machines, and this is one of them, is actually wind your bobbin without having to unthread your machine. So to do that, you need to do a couple of things. First of all, you need to bring the thread under your presser foot. Make sure the foot is up, and then bring it up. Don't use a plastic foot to do this, because you could cut into the plastic with the thread. So you come up, back up where you actually thread the machine. There's a little metal bar here that you rest the thread against. You come round the back, and from here it's like you're threading up to wind your bobbin as you would do normally. Come through the guides, thread your bobbin as you would do normally there. Engage your bobbin as you would do normally. Press your start-stop button. Once your thread's caught, just snip that piece of excess thread off. Just start-stop button again, and you're winding a bobbin. Now it works. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It feels a bit odd doing it this way, Some other manufacturers in the past have tried the same thing. Not every Pfaff machine does this, I find quite interesting. But yeah, it definitely works. And if you need to wind a bobbin without unthreading your machine, then this does do the job. Everything feels very tight. It feels a lot tighter than you would do normally, but it definitely works. Sewing on the Ambition 610 is really easy. I've selected a straight stitch. I literally, my top needle is threaded, everything's ready to go. Hold my threads. It's as simple as that. Let me drop the needle down. In terms of things I like less, the reverse is a little bit frustrating, but I've spotted that with a lot of computerized machines. You seem to get this extra stitch. The other thing is the needle threader. It's really angled oddly. Don't quite know why. I'm sure you would get used to it, and I'm sure I will, but I find the little lever that you push is kind of in the wrong place. But that's just a personal taste. It works. So there you have it. That's all the key features and functions of the Ambition 610. Great Pfaff build quality as ever. Yeah, let me know what you think. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please like and subscribe for more. And try this video next.